Hi, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to do this. Stop.
Why isn't it working?
You need to give it some beans like this. Welcome back. I'm not going to go over the cloning technique. If you do want to know how I did that, I'll leave a link in the top right corner. But this video is mainly focused on the creepy face technique. So there's a clip of me screaming, and this effect tends to work a lot better if you have a bit of a crazy scream, kind of put some effort into it. If it's a bit half-assed, then it will just look half-assed in the end. So the first thing we'll do is actually focus on the audio. So what I'm going to do is unlink the video from the audio, and I'm going to make two copies of the audio underneath. So we're going to have one version which is normal, and two versions which we're going to change the pitch of. So if you take the pitch shifter plugin and drag it onto the second and third audio clips. Doesn't matter which order you do it in. One of them you're going to drop the pitch to -10 semitones, and the other one you're going to raise the pitch to +10 semitones. So this is actually something that I hear all the time on horror films. It just makes the audio sound a bit scary. So this is the first, or the normal audio. And then simply by duplicating it twice, one pitched up, one pitched down, you get this. And it sounds absolutely crazy just from doing that one simple little thing. The other thing I'm going to do is add a reverb plugin. We'll use Studio Reverb and drag it onto, I'm going to drag it onto the high and the low pitched one. Could sound quite cool if you do just the low pitch. In fact, I will try that, because on the actual video I did both, but we'll try just the low pitch. So this is the low one, remove it from the high one. So on the low pitch we'll add the reverb in. We'll do a large vocal reverb, and we'll just extend it out a little bit so we can hear that reverb trail, and you get this. And you can hear that kind of ghostly reverb trail behind it. So the low audio on its own, that's actually the high one, the low one, and that's kind of it for the audio. So in terms of the video, you can go as far with this as you want, but the kind of concept of it is very similar for all the effects that you kind of apply to it. We're going to begin with the sort of eye effect. So I made my eyes go black, and that's actually very simple. So go to your project and add a new color matte, and we'll just select black, and that should appear back in your project. We'll call that eyes, and you're going to drag that over the top, roughly where you want the effect to begin. So I'd say I actually started with my eyes closed, so from when I open my eyes there, oops, just drag that to make it begin there, and then end wherever you want it to end. So again, I close my eyes again, but you may not close your eyes, but just wherever you want the effect to end. And then you're going to duplicate it. So you've got two different color mattes. So we can hide one for now. So this first color matte, you're going to create a mask, do a circle, you can do however you want. You're just going to make it basically the size of your eye. So you can obviously do this however you want. Just going to do it as quick as I can. Zoom in a little bit. and just try and match the shape. You can obviously add some more points to kind of make it a little bit of a different shape to sort of match up with the eye. Again, I'm doing this very quickly. So you want to do this as neatly as you can. Obviously this is not particularly neat. And what you're going to do is actually keyframe the mask path. So this is going to move and it's just going to match up with wherever your eye position is. So we go to mask path and start the keyframe from where the effect begins. So we do the first keyframe here. Obviously that's completely in the wrong place, so just move it up. And you're going to go frame by frame and just move that mask down just over the eye. If you do want to check the mask because the blue sort of lines get in the way a little bit, you just click on opacity up here and you can kind of see exactly where the mask is, or where the coloured shape is. So you're going to keep going along frame by frame. If you really don't move that much, you can skip a few frames forward. And then the final frame will be there. And you're going to do the same process with the other eye. So then we're left with this. Obviously you can see it's drifted out a little bit, but if you're a bit more precise with the shape and the sort of position of the mask, then you'll have much better results like at the beginning of the video. So that's the first part. Okay, so next I'd actually recommend splitting these clips where you want the effect to sort of begin and end. Just split the one clip, and it just makes it a lot easier when it comes to keyframing. Next thing you're going to do is open the Lumetri Color plugin. Just drag it onto this clip or up into the effects control. And all I did was, for this part, I keyframed the exposure and the blacks. So exposure and blacks, it's going to automatically leave a keyframe there at the beginning. So you don't want the effect to kind of happen really suddenly, you want it to kind of come in over a few frames. So we'll call it 3 frames, add another couple of keyframes, and we'll just go 1 + 1 for the exposure, and then say -40 for the blacks. And then you can basically see the effect doesn't just kind of come on really suddenly, it happens over 3 frames, which kind of looks a little bit better. And then same on the way out. So if you find a place where you sort of begin to close your mouth or sort of end the scream, I'm going to add another couple of keyframes here. Go 3 frames, we'll just go to the end of the clip. Add a couple more keyframes, and just drag these ones out a little bit. So it's 3 frames. So we've got 3 frames going in, 3 frames going out. So this frame here is going to have the effect exactly how it was when it began, and then on these keyframes everything's going to go back to 0, sort of to end the effect. Then you get. Okay, so the next thing I did was, on Lumetri Color as well, I went to the HSL secondary. So what this does is you're able to actually select one or as many different sort of shades as you like, and this is what I use to make my skin red. So if you go to set color and then select your cheek, and then we're going to add one more colour and just do the other cheek, just because the other cheek's in a bit of a shadow. What you can do is show the mask, and it shows all the colour that's going to be affected. And what you can do is remove colour if you don't want part of it to be affected. Just keep removing certain colours if you don't want the effect to sort of take place there. So that'll do for now. Next thing, just remove that mask. I'm going to put on some blur. I'd say blur, song 2. Say 20 for blur, because that will I'll show you actually. If you don't put the blur on, you end up with a sort of very harsh kind of blotchy mess. If you look around the cheeks, this is where you change the colour of the skin, so you can have it red, green, blue, whatever you want. If you then put the blur on, then you get more of an even colour across your face. And what we can do is, if we scroll up, you can see exactly where you added these keyframes for the other effects. So we'll leave basic correction open. This is quite handy, so what you can actually do is skip to previous or next keyframes, and obviously the first keyframe is going to be the same. So what we're actually going to automate or animate is the colour of the skin. So that's the way of kind of controlling the look. So the first keyframe is going to be here, and then you just scroll up a little bit. You can actually just skip to the next one. And this is where you want to ramp it up to whatever colour you want. So I used red, and same as before, scroll up a little bit, skip over to the next keyframe on the blacks, for example, and then you can add a keyframe here, and then skip ahead again, add a keyframe, and if you double click this, it will reset it back to normal. So now you can see the effect get applied to my face. Okay, again, so the results may vary slightly, and you can obviously change all these effects however you want. The last thing I did was just add a little camera shake. Just realised I didn't add a bit more blur. There you go. So 50 instead of 20. That looks pretty good in terms of face colour and everything. The last thing I did was add a camera shake, and what you need to do for this is nest your whole sequence. Let's call it main sequence, and that just means that it applies the camera shake to everything, all the clips that you've got within here, so including the eyes and everything. Then you just of course need to find where the effect begins. So around here, you're going to add a transform effect to the nest. Either drag it onto the nest or into the effects control once you've clicked on the nest, and you're going to animate the scale. So this is the way I'm going to do it. You can obviously do it with the position, but this is the really easy way. And the way I kind of imagined it was, if someone's screaming in your face, you're going to be sort of shaking the camera front to back rather than side to side. That's just kind of how I thought would work. So you're going to begin with your scale at 100, and then you're going to do one frame at a time, add a keyframe, and you're going to change your scale to, say, about 5. You can do a bit less than that. In fact, I'll do it a little bit less. We'll do 2, and then add a keyframe, 100, 102, and once you've done a few, you can actually just select all the ones you've got and just copy them. So I'm doing that by holding Alt and then dragging, or you can just right click and copy. So as you can see, we'll see where the effect wants to end. there, and just trim off the remaining ones, and then you get this. And that's about it. Obviously you can go in and change the color of the eyes. Just double click on your color matte, change it to blue, whatever color you want, or you can even select the color of the white bit on your eye and it kind of just looks like your pupil has disappeared. So we go for blue, and you can see that changes there. It'll change it for both, even though you've only selected that one, because it's all part of the same color matte, which is here. If you do want to do two different colors for whatever reason, then you just need to create a new color matte here and then drag it on. But that's about it really. I hope you got something from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell to let you know when I next upload a video. If you have any ideas for other videos or just general thoughts on this video, then don't forget to leave a comment down below. That'd be awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.